Hello, friends. It's Saturday night. No, it's not. It's only Friday. It's only Friday night. It's like I just gained an extra day. There are a lot of things that I want to talk about. There are a lot of threads that I have been kind of wandering my way down as far as the ancient copper stuff, Burroughs Cave, the Soper frauds, but I probably won't have time to get to a lot of that this weekend. But I thought I would take a moment on my busy Friday night to share with you what is basically what I think is kind of an example of the Soper frauds / Michigan relics of our day. I've talked a little bit about Steve Quayle in the past. He is a Nephilim enthusiast, conspiracy theorist. He's, the people that he has worked with he has helped proliferate all of these ideas and claims. For a while, I wasn't sure whether he was a true believer or whether he was a fraudster, scammer, or a grifter, or whatever box you want to put him in. But this video answers that question, I think, convincingly. Mexico expeditions, alien artifacts unearthed, never before seen footage, each shovel of dirt being emptied, each root being cut, and each artifact unearthed in real time from excavated holes, some 8 feet deep, showing every detail in action, no smoke and mirrors, no trick photography. You can see this is defensive from the get-go, and they're trying to use the act of taking things out of the ground as evidence of their authenticity, which is the same thing that Soper did. He would take people out and they could watch and even participate themselves in taking the artifacts out of the ground. So let's see these mind-boggling discoveries as they are unearthed and seen by human eyes for the first time in millennia. A long intro here, kids. Let's move it. Prepare to witness. Staggering finds. All right, I want to get to... There we go. It's got a real America Unearthed vibe to it, doesn't it? The photography and the kind of the staging.
Ultimately, in the end, we want to bring the truth to the world.
That was a screen of a GPR unit there, just in case you didn't know.
Jesse is down in the midst of cartel country. It is a dangerous place.
That's important to every good treasure hunting story, like Burroughs Cave. He had people after him with Uzis, and he was coming across marijuana patches, and he was being followed. So this is dangerous. This is dangerous work. So they can't tell you exactly where it is, right?
Artifacts in Mexico are evidentiary of this corruption of the seed of man.
What they depict are ancient aliens coming back to Earth who are really fallen angels in disguise and telling us that they are our creators.
Straight alien with an exoskeleton.
We're talking about fallen angels. We're talking about
I love how the shovel still has the sticker on it from when they bought it. This is a really intensive work going on here, and you can see this is a total party foul. No real archaeologist would ever leave a shovel up like that, because you start to do the step on the rake thing like in the cartoons, and you hit yourself in the face, or even worse, the crotch.
entities with supernatural intelligence and wisdom beyond anything anybody who's a normal human could even begin to understand.
So this is important too. They're trying to make it look like these things are coming out of like undisturbed deposits because they're showing all the roots. But notice how they always have to tunnel in. One thing that the talk I had with Joe Wilson made me realize, he's like, when you give too great of detail about what gives something away as being false, then they'll just come back and they'll fix it and they'll do it better. So any professional archaeologists out there who watch this could list off 9 or 10 tells right away that this is not legitimate. So you're going to fool some people with this stuff, but you aren't going to fool professionals, or really probably anybody who's ever actually worked in the ground. But I'm not going to tell you exactly what they are, Steve Quayle and friends. You can continue to be a clown show on your Mexican planted artifact set.
Here it is. Bam, baby.
We are at a time unlike any in history. The thing is, this is a time warning. This is a time marker. It is a warning.
This is an amazing alien site. It's just one ceremonial ritual artifact depicting aliens after another. Incredible. Incredible.
Discovery here. We found something, you guys.
Oh, they found something. What is it?
Wow. This is like next level.
It's next
There it
level.
is there, ladies and gentlemen.
They found a new
Gen
species.
6 Productions bringing to you literally extraterrestrial and human contact. These aliens and divine beings are amongst us.
There's some people who have to dig the holes and some people who get to take out the artifacts at the end. I guarantee you they're not the same people.
Have been and are interacting with us on different levels and walks of life.
It's like to find these things, they just dig. Oh, never mind. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you.
If there's another one. Whoa, wow. Oh, wow.
It's amazing.
There you have it. Close up, uncut, and raw. Gen 6 Productions Archaeology.
At this moment, before eyes, each shovel, each root that has been cut, and each artifact that has been uncovered.
Six hours of expeditions and testimonials. I presume those artifacts are for sale, though I don't know. I haven't scratched that far down into it. But if you there are other people who, if they're not in on this particular scam, they're copying it and they're making alien things. I don't know whether they're in Mexico or other Central American countries, but that's the play right now. So you'll see other videos of other people unearthing things. They'll pan around and they'll show you the room full of genuine artifacts. And you can go on eBay and find them. We'll save that for another video, but a lot of this stuff is for sale, so that is the goal, shall we say, or an important part of it. I guess this level of forbidden history is, it ain't cheap. Yeah, that for me answers the question about Steve Quayle. And I don't know who else is involved in this. The stuff, some of the motifs that they show, maybe not on these. I haven't slowed it down and looked at it, but on some of the copycats or the, Gen 6 adjacent stuff, there's a lot of the same motifs as the Boogosphere, which is a UFO hoax artifact thing that started back in June of 2025.
Created by non-human intelligence.
Well, I think on the Boogosphere, we're pretty much there. There are a number of data points. It's either non-human created or it was a very advanced human-based civilization that had contact with ETs.
The University of Georgia was able to carbon date resin from the Boogosphere, and it was dated at 12,560 years old.
We're talking, 1,200, 500 years ago in that part of South America, some high-tech electrogravitic things flying around. And it's an anti-gravity free energy device. The symbols on it, we just found out, are a type of Proto-Sanskrit. You may have heard this or not. This is a big breaking story in the last few days.
This whole thing about seeing the artifacts come out of the ground, that reminded me that back when America Unearthed was kind of ending, I think they did a episode on alien artifacts. And I know that there was a video with Scott Walter and Hutton Pulitzer with some, Mexican Mayan looking things with UFOs or whatever on it. And I remember him holding one up to the camera. It's like a spaceship or something like that.
Take a close look at this artifact. What do you see on the top of that artifact? First off, you see that face, but look up on top. A flying saucer? Oh my God. I'm not even kidding. That is a flying saucer. Okay, now I'm going to flip it around. What do you see there? You see a planet exploding. What the heck? Is that incredible? So we've been looking at all these cool artifacts that absolutely were dug up out of the ground, no way to fake it, come out of the ground, and they actually have ships on them, exploding planets.
I'm going to reserve comment. On that aspect of it. For me, this is interesting from a historical standpoint. I've talked a little bit recently about the Michigan Relics / Soper frauds, which was like 1890 to 1920, say. The Burroughs Cave stuff starts in 1982. Still kind of an active thing, but the real active Burroughs Cave stuff was about a decade, though somebody else has picked up the ball and is running with it. And now some of these things are going to end up in a museum in Michigan, which is unfortunate, and that's why I started talking about that. But this is a separate thing as far as all the lost history stuff, but the same elements are there. This element of danger, this discovery of something unprecedented, just pulling out one awesome artifact after another. Burroughs would just say there was a cave and you can't see it, and he was obviously making all of this stuff somewhere. Somebody's making all this stuff and then they're burying it and then they're coming back and unearthing it with the cameras on, which is basically the Soper, Savage, Scotford plan. Maybe Savage wasn't in on it. The Soper Scotford plan, only we have motion cameras now, which they did not have then. Or they surely would have. They would have been taking photographs too and having videos online. Anyway, if you ever doubted that Steve Quayle was totally full of it, there you go.
The Mexico expeditions are because of a series of supernatural events that led my basically director of antiquities, Jesse G., in Mexico to be put on a lead of an area in Mexico in the Tula region, T-U-L-A, of artifacts that were absolutely astonishing, showing some of the most ancient representations of everything from stargates, genetic manipulation between pretty ugly aliens and not so pretty Aztec women and others, even before the Aztecs and the Toltecs or the Olmecs, and the actual production of offspring. So what we're talking about in unearthing, and this is really critical, is unearthing the alien artifacts and also the aliens, is this stuff predates the creation of Adam and Eve, and then from the flood of Noah forward, and after the flood of Noah, the Bible just said in Genesis 6:4, in those days prior to the flood and after those days. So,
real researcher for you there. All right, that's what I wanted to say on Friday night. Have a good weekend, everybody. Hopefully, I will have time to make another video this weekend, but I don't know. I got my big 4x4 foot plates to work on the sculptures that I'm working on, so I have to figure out how to get them onto the platform, and then I've got to cut and drill them, which is going to take a long time, and then I can actually, that was the last piece of the puzzle I needed to start really moving things into place. So I'm excited to do that, and that's probably what I'm going to do for a lot of the spare time that I have this weekend. So anyway, have a good evening. Bye-bye.